Hello, good morning and welcome, or evening or afternoon or whatever it might be for you. Off down to the plots again today. There's going to be a bit of a recap at the end on the suggested controls from the experts, basically, on allotmenteering during this corona crisis. So yeah, skip to that if you want. That should be about 3 minutes from the end. It's from the Gardeners World website. We've been on the National Allotmenteers site as well. Been on the government site, all that kind of thing, and we just cobbled it together as best as possibly can. The rules and guidances for our plots is that 1 hour per plot is allowed at the moment, and there are other rules and restrictions that are in line with the government guidelines on that. So we're going to be sticking to that. So I'm going to get up to the plots now, and I'm going to do my bit. I'm going to do me. I think I'm going to be doing about 1.5 hours, something like that altogether. Okay, right, let's get cracking. Good morning, everybody. Now on today's episode, we're going to be getting some of the beds ready for getting our plants in the ground. And to do that, there's a lot of clearing out to do. So there's a few of these beds that are quite overgrown with weeds. At the top of the lady farmer's side especially, I've sort of neglected it. So naughty boy, I'll be doing that, I'll be weeding. And once the weeds are out, also, I'm going to be getting some potatoes in, which are the last of my main crops that are going in, which are the Sarpo Mira. Now if you remember, the big top potato bed was planted out about 1.5 weeks ago. And we planted in the Desiree, the King Edward's potatoes, and the Maris Piper. And the Sarpo Mira hadn't chitted at that point. But now they have, and they've chitted quite well, a lot of those. So they're going to be going in the ground today. But first, a bit of weeding, eh? There's a good crop of weeds in there. So this is the 4 foot by 4 foot sort of Sally the lettucey bed on the lady farmer's side. So that's the one that's going to be done first. So I'm going to fork those out and bin them off. Yeah, so weeding doesn't take very long at all. I mean, that's just taken me 2 minutes. Put all the weeds in that bag there. I'm going to take those up tomorrow probably, up to the tipping point at the top and tip them out. And that's it. So I'm going to do a bit of weeding today. I'm going to get that done, and then I'm going to get Brad's cage done in preparedness for some rocket and spinach. That's rocket at the back, spinach at the front. Quick croppers these. At that stage, from that stage onwards, they'll take about 6 to 8 weeks. Well, not even that, probably about 6 weeks to get fully grown plants off it. But you can keep taking it as you need it. You'll have leafy greens every night off that. We're also going to be getting some of the broccoli in. And the cauliflower in. But I need to get some of those brassica collars that Joe was showing us yesterday. I need to make some of them as well. We've got all this lettuce in here as well. We've got abundance. Look, we've got swede there. Lettuce there. Brussels sprouts. Got about 4 of them. Yeah. Those toms need potting on. There's loads, isn't there? But also in here, in the lady farmer's greenhouse, I'm going to have to start to prune back this grapevine, because that's overdue, a pruning that. That's a job for tomorrow, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I'll get on with Bradley's cage now. Yeah, there's our Brad's cage. Now what we've got in there is we've got bindweed coming up. I'll show you. That's one thing I always get me, plenty of an abundant crop of bloody weed. Look at them buggers. Very difficult to eradicate that stuff. Creeps along underneath the ground, pops up, fit for use in an ornament. And you've just got to keep on top of it. Same with that grass up there. Yeah, so nil desperandum. So I've just excavated that rhizome of bindweed. You can see all these little fine roots that are coming off from the main. I mean, it can grow massively, this, underground. It creeps along underground and then pops up, as you can see there. And as it creeps along underground, it sends up the shoots from along the main rhizome. And pretty soon, as you can see down there, I bet that's all the same rhizome there sending up its weeds. So you've got to carefully excavate all this. So this is going to take me probably about 20 minutes to do this bed. You carefully excavate it. And yeah, it's a pain in the bum. Now there's a couple of raspberry shoots in there, but the vast majority of that is bindweed. There's some healthy specimens in there as well. Yeah. Now, stay tuned next week, because there'll be another healthy crop of weeds in here, no doubt, next week. But once you keep on top of it and you're just constantly then pulling out the rhizomes and the weeds as they come through, then hopefully that'll weaken the whole stock as a general, and eventually you'll be getting it down to at least a manageable state where it's not too much of an issue. But it is a war of attrition, that, and it's a constant battle. Question for you: is that a wireworm or is it a western yellow centipede? Answer below. Do you remember the carrot bucket we started last week? Yippee! Now, we always show our successes and our failures. I wouldn't say it's a failure, that, because we have been eating them practically every night. But the remaining plants that are in there, they've gone to seed now. They've bolted, as you can see. That's partly my fault for neglecting really to give them enough water while it's been hot this last couple of weeks. So yeah, that was the overwintering stuff that we were doing in the buckets, if you remember. This is in the top greenhouse. This is in the 4mm twin wall polycarbonate timber framed greenhouse, the first structure that I built on this plot 3 years ago now. Well, when was it? Yeah, is it 3? Two years ago, just over 2 years ago. That. And I was doing winter potatoes, if you remember, and I planted them, and only one plant came up, as I thought. I thought the other ones had sort of died off or whatever. But if you can see there, the spuds are coming through just later. So yeah, those were Ulster prints that I put in. Yakida. Yeah, so we've prepared 3 beds for getting the lettuce and brassica in tomorrow, and that's all we're doing today. But yeah, it's all prep. It's all about time efficiency, using your time as much as you can, as efficiently as you can, your precious time, to do what you need to do. And that's it. That's all you can do. You just crack on, don't you? But yeah, the bindweed's a pain in the backside, it is, and so's the horse's tail. In the top greenhouse there, I've got some good examples of horse's tail, actually, which I'll show you now. And again, it's one of those that burrow under the ground and root under the ground. I'm going to have to get a bloody clasp for that, because that's doing me mind in that. Keep flying open like that, because it is still quite breezy. In fact, last night it was blowing an absolute gale. We did get some rain last night, which was good. And that saved me the job of watering up and filling up my butts. Filling my butt. We'll check the butts as well, and I'll show you the example of the horse's tail, and then I'm going to get washed off and get off again. Exactly the same process as I use every single day coming down here. You can see that on the previous video. I've got the previous few videos, and we'll have a little snapshot recap of that as well at the end of this video. So keep calm, carry on, keep growing with your head down. If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window. But I'll show you some horse's tail first, and I'll show you the butts that have been topped off by God. See you in a bit. That's a fine example of mare's tail or horse's tail. Under the ground it goes, the rhizomes, up they pop. A fern-like plant. And it's just a pest. But it's not as much of a pest as bindweed, because bindweed wraps itself around your plants and strangles them, for want of a better word. There's some more mare's tail down there as it pops through, and then it bursts into that, which does look a little bit like a mare's tail. Some nice forget-me-not there, a lovely spring flower. That was done by the baby Jesus, that. I didn't water that up from the tap. It was all done from that, because that was emptied down to about here yesterday. So there must have been quite a lot of rain last night there. It's topped them all off. That's great. That's good. We've got our own natural water storage. That's cool. So weeded, weed free, and weed free. I've just put one row only of the Sarpo Mira into there. There are two more rows to go in, but I've run out of time. So I'm going to wash up now and get off. I'm going to check the official government website as well about allotmenteering tonight, and just see what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do in the official government website. So that'll be going on at the beginning of this. Okay, wash station. Spotlessly clean. Disinfected. Exterior disinfected. All the places where the hands can go. Disposable rubber gloves. Disinfectant spray. And hand gel, which I'm going to put on now. Alright, so this is the BBC Gardener's World magazine website. Okay, right, let's see what we can pick up from this. Right. Visiting the allotment is essential for the physical and well-being of many of us. We spoke with doctor and broadcaster Amir Khan, who said it's still perfectly safe and recommended that you go out into your garden and allotments for both the health of your mind and body. However, it's important to adhere to strict social distancing rules while at the allotment and travelling to and from the allotment. We've come up with some guidelines to help keep you and others safe. Avoid public transport if possible. Instead, walk, run, cycle or drive to the allotment, either on your own or with one other member of your household. Do not pick up anyone on the way and travel to the allotment with them. This is not allowed. If you bump into someone on the way, then maintain safe social distancing protocols. Stand 2 meters apart. Wash or sanitize your hands after using the allotment gate. It will be helpful to others if you wipe down the gate. Well, I do this, spray it all down, don't I? As well if you can. Don't wash your hands in the communal water troughs. Don't do that. Don't work on the allotment in groups of more than 2. If you share the plot with someone from different households, then you must observe safe social distancing rules. Ideally, work out a timetable so that you can visit the plot separately. If you bump into people, then maintain safe social distancing protocols at all times, don't make anyone a cup of tea, don't share tools, don't visit the allotment shop, which is going to be a bit of a pain, isn't it? Poor Ken. Avoid taking your children to the plot if you possibly can. If you do take them, ensure they keep to your plot and avoid playing on communal areas. If you take your dog with you, ensure it is kept on a lead within the bounds of your own plot. If it wanders off and you need to retrieve it from the communal areas, this could place you and others at risk. I've been saying about dogs, haven't I? Can be communicated through the dogs. Wash or sanitize your hands thoroughly before and after eating food and when you get home. Well, I think I'm doing that and more at the moment. So if we all do that, then we should be laughing. Now, I've had a look on the government page, but there's nothing really specific for coronavirus. The National Allotment Society page is in regards to allotments on the government page. I can't find it. If it says Mick's found one, but we'll have to pick that up with Mick tomorrow. He sent a link through, but I can't get into it. I can't get on it. My phone won't allow me to open it up. So yeah, so there we go. That's from the horse's mouth. The National Allotment Society one says very much the same thing. So there we go. That's what we're going to have to work to, innit? Stick to the rules, follow the protocols, and we won't go wrong, will we? I don't personally think that there is anywhere as safe and healthy as an allotment plot at the moment. So if you haven't got a garden, that's our garden. 1 to 2 hours exercise a day is what the government are recommending at the moment. So as long as we don't take the mickey out of that, that's fine. Our plot rules is 1 hour per plot. So we've got 2 plots. Helen's a key worker. She can't get down to the plots at the moment. She's got far too much on with work in the social care system, looking after children. And so it's down to me. But I'm not going to take the mickey. I'm going to do an hour to an hour and a half every day and keep on with it in that manner. Now, usually, because I'm bloody addicted to the allotments, I'd be down there with me being off work this week. I would be down there all the time. But under the circumstances that we're presented with at the moment, I'll be doing up to 2 hours. So between 1 and 2 hours a day down there. Because in my opinion, it's not only exercise, it's also food production. We're getting our food from down there and we're getting our exercise. So I've got 2 plots and that's what I'm going to do. So there you go. If anybody's got any issues with that, then I feel sorry for you, because I don't think it's going to be an issue. Unless the police have a different matter if I do get pulled over. We'll see. We'll take it as we come from that. But I'm firmly of the belief that that's fine. Following the protocols that I'm following at the moment, and the social distancing, all of that kind of thing, following every guideline, I think that's absolutely fine. Okay? Keep growing with your heads down. Be very careful out there and keep the allotments going. The last thing we need is to jeopardise that. So follow the guidelines, follow the rules. The government knows best at the moment. It's good advice at the moment, so stick to it. All right. See you in a bit. Ta-da.